Hey folks, David Hubbell here, and it's Saturday, December 5th, and I'm reporting to you from underneath the Mirliton man cave, or as I like to call it. It's actually my structure that I use to support my Mirliton with my Boudreaux Robert vine. As I told you last week, we had a freeze coming on Monday and Tuesday, and it got down to about 32 degrees here. So since I had a good yield, I decided I'd go ahead and cut my vine back and preserve it for the upcoming growth for the 2021 season. So that's what I've done, and in this video I'll show you what it looks like when you cut your vine back and kind of how much I cut mine back, and then you'll also see what the dead foliage looks like. So stay tuned. So this is the 14th week of the 2020 fall Mirliton season, and this will be our last video in the series of the growth. If you haven't done so already, please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button below and click that button, and you'll be alerted to upcoming videos for next year, as well as recipes that I'm starting to put out. Well, here we are. This is what the Mirliton vine looks like when it's dead, and it's just kind of sad compared to what we saw the last couple of months. But in this particular case, like I said, I had to cut it back in order to preserve it. I may have missed a few fruit here and there, so I may still come across some of those. If they aren't too badly freeze damaged, I'll probably blanch them and freeze them for use in future dishes. But you can see it was pretty expansive, and you can see all the dead growth. So what I'll do is, when I have time in the next week or so, I'll probably let it dry out a little bit more because it'll be easier to handle at that point. But I'll come in and I'll pull all this back and throw it into the mulch pile. In fact, I see one right up there. So actually this one's not in too bad a shape. So it's still pretty decent. I'll probably just blanch it and save it. So that's a little pleasant surprise, and probably brings my total up to closer to 115 this year off of my 2 vines. So this is what I did sort of as a makeshift. It's not really the way I recommend covering it, but I was in a hurry the other day, and I really don't like to use the plastic directly on it, but I did that just in a pinch. So I'm gonna clear it up and I'm gonna show you. So this is what I did, is I cut this vine. This was the new one I planted, and you can see it's about 2 inches out the ground. Now I'm taking away the plastic in that covering because it rained and it's pretty heavy, and I really don't want that thing to rot. So I'm going to leave it exposed for a couple days until I know I'm not going to get any freezing, or when the freezing does come, I'm going to come back with some mulch and some leaves that'll better protect it, and maybe get some straw. So I did something similarly here. I cut it back. Once again, it's very wet there because I had plastic over it, and then I had cloth. Once again, I don't recommend that unless it's just a real something you got to do in a hurry. I really probably should have taken it off a couple days ago, but I'm just going to go ahead and let this kind of get back to nature, dry out a bit, and then I'll cover it properly with some mulch. So as I reported, these get real dry and papery. That's what will happen when you get lower temperatures on your leaves. And like I said, it's very much like a old parchment in some ways. So anyway, that's what I ended up doing. As you can see, I just simply decided to cut it back. I probably, if I had more time and resources at my disposal, could have done a better job of covering it and do what I did last year, put heaters up underneath it, because it only got down to 32 here. But like I said, I had a pretty good yield already. I did not expect it to produce a whole lot more, and you know, quite frankly, kind of wanted to give the vine a rest. Like I said, there's a little bit of balance between growing it and preserving it. And as I'm talking here, well, look what I found. Here's another surprise. So once again, it's sad, it's difficult when you've been nurturing it so long to actually have to cut it back, but I've been doing it for 10 years based off of recommendations I got from a lot of old timers who grow them out and around Vacherie. And the rule of thumb that they always told me is when it gets cold on the north shore of Lake Pontchartrain, or the first frost that is coming, they would all cut it back and cover it and overwinter it. And it's worked out well for me. I've lost a few plants over the years, but more often than that, that's because I probably cut it back too far. I should have. So if you do like I do and maybe do 2 inches and keep it well covered, and you watch it and protect it, and you've taken other precautions to take care of having some backup plan, then you should be in good shape next year. So hope you find this information useful, and I will see you next year. So there you go, folks. Hope this video helped you understand some of the precautions you need to take when it comes to preserving your vine so that you'll have an opportunity for it to grow next year. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Also, if you know of anybody who would find it useful, please do me a favor and share it with them. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, click that red button below and hit that bell as well. If you'd like to know more in-depth information on growing Mirliton, check out Dr. Lance Hill's Mirliton.org website, mirliton.org, or my Facebook page, Mirliton Man on Mobile. Also, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below or send them to me at rpcajun2r@gmail.com. I appreciate you watching this season, and I'll see you next year.